Evening viewer, welcome to our Glory Globe TVers breaking news from Jerusalem and Beirut. Israel said commando and paratroop units launched raids into Lebanon on Tuesday as part of a limited ground incursion, while Iran-backed Hezbollah said it had fired a barrage of missiles into Israel, including at its spy agency near Tel Aviv. The raids by Israeli troops in southern Lebanon that began overnight were limited and went only a short distance over the border, an Israeli security official said on Tuesday, adding that no direct clashes with Hezbollah fighters were reported. Israeli forces have been carrying out raids into southern Lebanon for months, uncovering Hezbollah tunnels and weapons caches under homes and invasion plans by the group. Israeli military spokesman Daniel Hagari said on Tuesday, adding the details were being declassified. The operations had uncovered plans by Hezbollah to enter Israel and carry out an attack similar to the one led by the Palestinian militant group Hamas in southern Israel on October 7 last year that triggered the current conflicts. The findings and evidence discovered during the raids will be presented to the international community, Hagari said. He presented videos from soldiers' body cameras and maps. Hezbollah has not commented on his claim. The latest escalation has caused international alarm, with British Foreign Secretary David Lammy saying Israel should avoid a repeat of the past and not get bogged down in a quagmire in Lebanon amid fears the conflict will engulf the wider region. Hezbollah has challenged Israel since the group was created in Lebanon by Iran's Revolutionary Guards in 1982. The Israeli raids follow intense airstrikes that have devastated the Hezbollah's leadership, including assassinating its chief Hassan Nasrallah in Beirut last week. Israel's military said its ground raids are aimed at Hezbollah strongholds along the border that threaten Israel, and it's also not a war against the Lebanese people. The military said on Tuesday it was calling up for additional reserve brigades for operational missions on the northern border with Lebanon. Residents in southern Lebanon fled on Monday and Tuesday as Israeli strikes drew nearer, local sources told Reuters. At least 600 people were seeking refuge in a monastery on the southern Lebanon border after their Christian village of an Abbey received a warning from the Israeli military, local residents told Reuters. An Israeli military spokesman warned residents of an Abbey and at least 200 other towns to evacuate their homes immediately because the military would attack houses that armed groups Hezbollah was using. A Hezbollah spokesperson told Reuters on Tuesday that the Israeli military had not entered Lebanese territory, but that Hezbollah would be ready to fight them in direct clashes if they did. Two Lebanese security sources told Reuters that Israeli units had crossed into Lebanon overnight for reconnaissance and probing operations. Hezbollah said in a statement on Tuesday that it had fired the 44 at military positions in the suburbs of Tel Aviv, Israel's commercial capital. It is fourth iteration of a series which have progressively bigger payloads and longer ranges that Hezbollah has begun to use in recent weeks. The group also said it fired missiles at the headquarters of Israel's Mossad intelligence agency, blamed for assassinations of Hezbollah commanders and leaders, and a military intelligence unit on the outskirts of the Tel Aviv. Israel Ambulance Service said 2 people had been wounded by shrapnel from the barrage of missiles. Traffic was also affected by part of a missile that fell onto a highway near the town of Keter Qasim, east of Tel Aviv. Lebanon is facing one of the most dangerous stages in its history, caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati said on Tuesday during a meeting with UN organizations and ambassadors of donor countries, in which they made a joint appeal for more than 400 million in aid to cope with surging hostilities. Despite its biggest successes against Hezbollah in decades, Israel has indicated it is primed for a full-fledged invasion of Lebanon with the stated aim of enabling thousands of its citizens who fled Hezbollah rockets to safely return to their communities near the northern border. More than 1,700 people have been killed in Lebanon since hostilities began last October 8, with most of the fatalities taking place since Israel intensified its campaign in mid-September. Israel's strikes have displaced 1 million Lebanese from their own home. A looming ground offensive has sparked fear and anger in Lebanon. Not just Hezbollah, all of Lebanon will fight this time. All of Lebanon is determined to fight Israel for the massacres it committed in Gaza and Lebanon, said Abu Allah, a resident of the southern port city of Sidon. BN's exclusive report, Glory Globe TV, Delhi, Bharat.